It's a significant day in the calendar of the fund, where we get to review the affairs of our scheme for the past 1 year. Ladies and gentlemen, a quorum being present, I declare the meeting to be properly convened and duly constituted. And I take this opportunity to introduce to you my fellow trustees and our noble guests. Introductions. Trustees present. Are you doing the projection? Is it being done? If it's not, we'll proceed. Yeah, for the DC, the trustees, I'll start with the CEO, Dr. Siror, who is representing the sponsor. Next, we have Madam Imelda Bore, representing also the sponsor. Next to Imelda, we have Steve Vikiru also. And extreme left is Khalil, member nominated. And then just walking in to warm our seat is Madam Cecilia, also representing the sponsor. Member nominated, we have a new kid in the block. That is Chadra Kimeyo Shadow Munamujua. He's also the new chair of Ketau. And he will be joining you also very soon. So, but he's lucky now he has gotten that seat. Next, we have Deborah also representing you. Most of you know her when you mulifanya Nairobi Pay Office. She used to be a very good, a very good servant. And then lastly, we have Tobias. This is also member nominated. And then we are supported by the CEO and Trust Secretary. That is Ruto, Edwin Ruto. Investment managers, we have Jane Africa. Yeah. Corp Trust, we have Nicholas, who is also the CEO. Custodian, we have KCB, Geoffrey Maregwa. And then lastly, Stanbic, we also still have Janet with us, Waiguru. Auditor Deloitte and Tut, John Muhalia, he was earlier with us. And we still have Anthony Chumo with us representing RBA. Let's clap for them, please. I now call the secretary to read the notice convening this AGM.
Thank you, Chairman. Good morning, members. So I will read the notice convening this meeting, and it reads as follows. Notice is hereby given that the 19th Annual General Meeting of Kenya Power Pension Fund, the DC, that is defined contributions, will be held on Friday, the 11th of July, 2025 at Sarova Woodlands Hotel, Nakuru County, and also through virtual, through the Microsoft Teams, starting at 11 a.m. to transact the following business. Number 1, introductions and opening remarks. Number 2, reading of the notice convening the meeting. Number 3, confirmation of the minutes of last year's AGM held on Friday, 5th July 2024. Number 4, presentations of the chairman's report. Number 5, presentations of the financial statements and audited accounts for the year ended at 1st December 2024. Number 6, presentations of the fund manager's report. Number 7, presentations of the fund custodian's report. Number 8, address by the RBA representative. Number 9, address by the sponsor's representative. Number 10, question and answer. Number 11, vote of thanks. And finally, number 12, closure of the meeting. Signed and issued on 19th of June 2025 by E.K. Ruto, the Trust Secretary. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you, Edwin. Now we move to the first on minutes confirmation of the minutes of the 18th AGM that was held on 5th July last year, that is 2024. The minutes were availed to members on 4th October 2024, and we hereby take them as read. I now invite a proposer and seconder to confirm those minutes, please. Yeah, Vincent Okulo has proposed. That's okay. Number
as proposed, Vincent Okulo.
Yeah, thank you. Seconder? Somebody to second the minutes? Yeah.
Eliud Obonyo has.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ndugu Eliud. That is confirmed. I will now move to the chairman's report. Dear members, it is with great honor that I welcome you to this AGM. Today, we reflect on a year that tested our resilience, sharpened our focus, and reaffirmed our commitment to building financial security for all members. The world around us has changed in many ways, economically, socially, and politically. But our fund has remained steadfast, committed, and adaptive. Ladies and gentlemen, despite global and domestic challenges, the fund delivered exceptional results. The economic environment in 2024 was marked by slow GDP growth, with the country's real GDP falling to 4.5 from 5.6 in the year 2023 due to rising inflation, constrained liquidity, adverse climate events, and physical tightening. Even so, sectors like agriculture rebounded, growing by 6.5%, while services held steady. Globally, inflation, trade tensions, and tighter monetary policies weighed heavily on markets. In this context, I am proud to report that the fund's investment strategy bore impressive results. The defined contribution fund achieved a net return of 21.7%, up from 0.2% the previous year. While regulatory adjustments required us to execute and realize bond gains from interest calculations, the declared net interest rate rose to 12.5%, up from 4.12% in 2023. The fund's total value grew to Kenya shillings 20.63 billion, with membership increased to 9,492 membership in DC. The number speaks to our ongoing efforts, thoughtful stewardship, and focus on long-term member security. The income drawdown IDD fund performed even far much better, delivering a remarkable 28.01% return. Its value grew from 1.12 billion to 1.88 billion, driven by both performance and new retiree enrollments. The declared interest rate, again adjusted for regulation, mark the word, for regulation, stood at 14.84%, an improvement from last year. Members, these outcomes are not just numbers. They are your retirement dreams made tangible. Dear members, during the year, we also had to adapt to a changing legal and regulatory landscape. Notable among them was the Tax Law Amendment Act, which increased the tax-exempt limit for pension contributions to 360,000. That means you can contribute up to a maximum of 30,000 per month without you paying any tax. Initially, it used to be, is it 20? Yeah, 20,000. Now it's gone to 30. Exempted pensions from tax upon retirement. If there is one thing that the government has done, whether you like the government or not, I think we must be the happiest. We should be the happiest, especially those who are retiring. This time around, as you retire, your lump sum will not be touched. You will get your entire lump sum. There will be no taxation. And over and above that, as you start earning your monthly pension also, there will be no tax. Tupigie serikali makofi hapo tafadhali. So those of you Kinashado and the rest who are here, who are almost, just know that you'll go with a fat check this time around. The government also reduced a 5% withholding tax on infrastructure, rather introduced. Kitambo, we used to enjoy this, but now we've been told we have to pay 5% on these bonds. We also saw the Social Health Insurance Act rollout, replacing NHIF, and the Affordable Housing Levy, which now requires a 1.5 contribution from employees and employers. And I will encourage you to buy houses. I'm a director there. Additionally, we can engage each other after this. Additionally, the NSSF contribution bans were also revised, and a new procurement levy was introduced. The fund continues to respond proactively to these developments, ensuring compliance while safeguarding members' interests. Ladies and gentlemen, our governance did not go unnoticed in the year 2024. We were proud to emerge as the top funds in the pension funds category at the Financial Reporting Awards. I think we deserve a clap for that. That is recognizing our financial transparency and ethical management. We were also named the best pension fund in property investment at the Real Estate Awards, driven by the strong returns of Sekile Properties, our real estate brand. Dear members, we understand that retirement is not just about accumulating savings, but it's also about living with dignity. This is why we continue to innovate with tailored products that meet your real needs. One of the said products is AVC, Additional Voluntary Contribution, through which you can enhance your savings and move closer to the recommended 40% IRR, that is income replacement ratio. The income replacement ratio, maybe just for those who don't know what it is a percentage of your last salary. And I will give an example. If you retire at a salary of 100,000, the accepted IRR should be 40%. Your pension you're expected to get at least 40,000 and above. That is 40% of your last salary. But currently, our average is around 29%. That means it's a third. When you are living, you are getting almost a third of your last salary. So, and that is the very reason we are saying we want you to continue putting more money in AVC. We will also do our part as trustees to make sure that we invest money, we get good returns from our investment. And at some stage, we shall also engage the sponsor. We've been engaging the sponsor to see whether they can also increase their contribution, like what other institutions are doing. But we know where we are coming from with KPLC, the challenges we've had, because currently you are contributing 5, employer does 10. So we'll see whether we can push kidogo. You do 7.5, the sponsor also does double that. But meanwhile, as we are engaging, we will encourage you to do AVC. So we are still below the international recommended standard, the 29%. The income drawdown is another product that offers flexible access to your retirement income. As previously highlighted, the IDD fund continues to deliver competitive returns. We told you around 29%, almost 30% return, outperforming inflation and other peer funds in the industry. The message is, as you retire, forget about insurance, forget about those farms that are buying you tea and mandasi, trying to convince you, don't go the IDD. Go the IDD, come to us, you get more returns, we are more safe with us than those insurance firms that are buying you mandasis and tea and trying to convince you. We encourage you to consider these offerings as part of your planning and explore how they can add value to your retirement journey. Ladies and gentlemen, strong investment performance is underpinned by strong governance. The Board of Trustees continues to uphold the highest standards of accountability, integrity, and transparency. And we operate through 6 specialized committees. During the year, we reviewed the progress on our 2021 to 2025 strategic plan, monitored risk controls, and ensured full compliance with regulatory frameworks. The Board of Trustees continue to provide strategic leadership and oversight through the year. We welcomed a new member-elected trustee, Madam Deborah Opudo, who was appointed on 11th November 2024. Ms. Opudo brings valuable experience from her role as a customer experience officer at the National Contact Center, Kenya Power and Lighting Company, Stima Plaza. We look forward to the insight and perspective she will contribute to this board. Dear members, despite the prevailing economic uncertainty, our outlook is cautiously optimistic. The IMF has downgraded global growth to 2.8% in 2025, citing trade conflicts and inflation, but Kenya is projected to grow at 5.4%, supported by agriculture and private sector credit growth. The fund is well positioned to benefit from this trajectory with diversified investment, growing contribution, and sustained product innovation. Thank you. That marks the end of my speech. Yeah, so members, I will now like to take this opportunity to report on 2 of the 5 minimum agenda items as required by the law for an AGM of retirement benefit scheme. 1, we must report on any changes to the benefits and contribution structure. I wish to report that there have been no changes to the benefits and contribution structure of the scheme. Number 2, a report on remuneration of trustees. We must also report to you, tumeongeza, tumepunguza, or what. Ladies and gentlemen, during the year under review, the Board of Trustees had the following meetings. Full board meetings, there were totaling 7. Risk and Audit Committee meetings, 5. Strategy, Finance, and Investment Committee total were 8. Governance, HR, and Compensation Committee was 8. Project Implementation, 3. I wish to report that the remuneration rates of trustees did not change during the year. The total trustees, the total trustees sitting allowance was Kenya shillings 16.7 million. Mestuka mkisikia billion, huh? It is 16.7 million against a fund value of 20 billion. Our total value is 20 billion, but we've only been able to utilize only 16.7 as sitting allowance. I think we'd even deserve a clap. Simpige makofi, surely. Yeah? It is recommended that the existing remuneration levels be maintained in the subsequent period. So, akuna increment, it will remain the way it is. The audited financial statements, I will now move to this. Having previously been circulated, are taken as read, and I now invite the auditor to give a brief overview of the financial statement and to read to the auditor's report to you, esteemed members. Auditors present, please come forward and read the report.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, members, again. So I'll lead you to the annual report for the DC and IDD. So on page 127, so this is the statement of changes in net assets available for benefits, and it contains the results of both the DC and the IDD. So on highlights, in terms of total contributions, it increased in 2024 to 2.5 billion from 1.9 billion in 2023. The benefits expenses, which are the payouts, increased in 2024 to 2.4 billion from 1.7 billion in 2023. The net surplus, that is the net dealings from members, contribution less benefits expense, marginally decreased to 152 million, is a positive, compared to 190 million in 2023. In terms of returns on investment, the investment income increased to 4 billion in 2024 compared to 214 million. Same reason, it's basically as a result of the gains from the valuation of the investment in bonds and equity held. The net increase in net assets for the year after taxation was 3.9 billion compared to 211 million. On page 128 is the statement of net assets available for benefits. The total assets held in investments was 21.9 billion in 2024 compared to 17.3 billion in 2023. The total assets was 23.4 billion in 2024 compared to 19.1 billion in 2023. So the members' funds total for DC and IDD in 2024 was standing at 22.5 billion, an increase from 18.6 billion in 2023. I'll proceed to read the audit report, which is on page 125. I'll read the opinion. I confirm we have audited the accompanying financial statements of the Kenya Power and Lighting Company, PLC Staff Retirement Benefit Scheme, defined contribution, which is set out on pages 127 to 164, which comprise the statement of net assets available for benefits as at 31st December 2024, and statement of changes in net assets available for benefits, statement of changes in members' funds, and statement of cash flows for the year then ended, and notes to the financial statements. In our opinion, the financial statements give a true and fair view of the scheme's net assets available for benefit as at 31st December 2024, and of the changes in net assets available for benefits of its cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with IFRS accounting standards issued by the International Accounting Standards Board and the requirement of the Kenyan Retirement Benefit Act. On page 126, the report was signed off by the engagement partner CPA David Waweru. Thank you. Back to you,
Thank
Chair.
you. Thank you. Tumpigie makofi, please. I'll now invite one of the investment managers, that is Nicholas, to please confirm the assets are there and also what is happening.
Chairman of the DC Fund, Bwana Anston Ndome, Board of Trustees, and our dear sponsor, MD, Dr. Joseph Soril, Secretariat, headed by Dr. E.K. Ruto, our dear and lovely members. God is good, and all the time. I'm privileged to be here this morning as a fund manager of your scheme. On the DC Fund, your scheme is managed by two fund managers. There is Corp Trust Investment Services, which is represented by myself as a managing director. And there is Gen Afric Asset Managers, represented by the senior portfolio manager. Bachu, you can probably stand up and just wave to our members. So members, I'll be very brief. Chairman, last year was a fantastic year in terms of returns, as has been mentioned. And our role is very simple, is to guide the trustees and tell them where to place the money and extract the best value. And last year, we had many parameters which worked for us, starting all the way from the economy. We had a recovery on the economy. I think for the last 3 years, we've had very good rainfall, which has strongly supported this government. And that has been the biggest indicator for us. Last year as well, 2024, on the third slide, the one who's controlling the laptop, we got two major things which worked for us. The Kenya shilling behaved. We were at 129. You remember, hiyo mwaka ingine 2023, we were exchanging at 160. So when that stability and drop of Kenya shilling was able to be managed, which is again a courtesy of the Central Bank of Kenya, where some of us sit as policy makers, and also what has been happening with the government, that controlled most of the things. So we had very strong returns, especially on the bond markets. On the slides there, you'll see on the slide, on the bond market return on your screen, you'll see almost close to about 29% return. That is now how the market performed. But your scheme, because of under the guidance of the fund managers and of course the Board of Trustees, your bond performance was much higher than that, and I'll show you the numbers as we progress. Next slide as well is talking about currency, which was very high. You can see there, it recovered quite strongly. So when you're holding offshore and you have a stable currency, it also means that you'll do well. And we always go there as a way of diversifying. Then the extreme slide there is 65% return on stock markets. As a DC fund, you are much more agile compared to the DB, mainly because the members who sit here have a longer term to retirement, and they can afford to take a bit more risk. So on this fund, we slightly take more risks, and you'll see even in terms of returns, it actually did show very well last year. But in terms of numbers, here on the next couple of slides, you see there, we had a very good improvement, as the chairman mentioned. We are now sitting in excess of about 21.9, which is 22 billion as the time we close the year. MD Ruto, you'll also allow me to share, as at the end of 30th June, which is just a few weeks ago, the fund has continued to grow steadily. I think we are posting in excess of 15% for the half-year number, which we are praying that we behave as a country, that come next year again, we'll be talking about 30% return, and as at half-year, we've already hit that. This is where your assets are in terms of government securities, which is largely what was good last year. Last year, members, we had a 10-year bond, I remember, that was giving us 17.93%, which is 18%. And as your fund managers, we spend a lot of money investing in that, because what that 10-year bond means is that the government will pay you 18% for the next 10 years every day. And because of the new valuation methodology of just hold to maturity, we believe we are set on the good tangent as we progress throughout the remaining part of the scheme, and of course for the members. Equity markets very strong, about 15%. But most importantly is the growth in income, which is there, showing you about 3.7 billion in terms of returns. Simuji, pigia makofi tafadhali. all the way from 21 billion to 3.73. Again, that is a trend we are willing to replicate this year, and as at half year, God has been very gracious. We are already halfway there, which means that we are on the right track. In terms of the fund constituents, again, this is where I just want to briefly mention that at 18.6 the previous year, we hit 22.5, where we are reporting. We are now, Q1 was 23.7. That is 1 quarter ago. As at half year, we are almost past 25 billion. And Chairman, we are looking forward. We're talking about a 28-30 billion portfolio in the coming days. So in terms of strategy, again, this has not changed significantly because we felt most of the work was done last year across both managers. Our work is to take advantage of the market. So last year when the government was desperate for money, we packed a lot of money in those government bonds. This year as well, you may see us shift a bit into stock markets, and they have come to prove us right because we are seeing a lot of growth on the stock markets as the country recovers. Strategy, again, for us members, our work is just to make sure that despite the ups and downs of the economy, we are able to replicate what the trustees expect of us as benchmark. I know the chairman talked about a 21% return, which is what was distributed to members, which is a very fantastic rate. And because of the new rule of holding to maturity, these funds you're talking about, the DC fund, as mentioned earlier, takes more risk. And last year, we are happy to have posted at least 31% return on these particular funds. Simupige makofi tafadhali. So, Chairman, on my behalf and on behalf of Jan Africa, is just to say thank you for according us the excellent service and flow of money. And we continue to pray that we'll do our work well and we'll be available to take questions at the end of the session. Asante, Chairman.
Thank you. Tumpigie makofi kabisa. You can see they are doing a good job for us. And this takes us now to the custodian. The custodian to confirm whether the money, the 22 billion is safe, and now it is shooting to 25. Please.
The chairman, this is fund, Mr. Ernest Nadome, Board of Trustees, our sponsor, MD Dr. Joseph Siror, the KPPF Secretariat led by Mr. Ruto, members, fellow service providers, good morning. Good morning once again. So I am here representing the two banks that are the custodians for the DC fund. And I'm joined by Geoffrey Maregwa from KCB Bank. It would be worthwhile to note that the two banks have been in operation in this country for over 100 years. So even as the Board of Trustees entrust us with this responsibility, they are bringing partners who are tried and tested. As my previous custodian did confirm, we are highly regulated. We are regulated by the central bank to be a commercial bank where you put your money. We are regulated by the Retirement Benefits Authority, who gives us the mandate to support you with the pension assets, and the Capital Markets Authority. I can ask a question. Which regulator is here? Which regulator is here? The Retirement Benefits Authority. Yeah? We also work very closely with the two depositories in this market, which is Central Bank and CDSE. There we keep your assets and ensure that at any given time, any given day, we can account for each and every security that the fund manager has invested in. When you then look at our key responsibility is safekeeping, stakabadhi. So we can say that when the fund manager says they've bought bonds, they're buying shares, offshore, all those assets, even property, we can account for each and every security. Then we work very closely with the fund managers in terms of settlements, which is malipo ya thamana. As they're buying the shares, we are the ones who move that money and receive what that money has bought. Then we facilitate income collection. That return of 3.7 billion is also made up of the interest, the dividends that are paid on the securities that the fund managers have invested in. Lastly, and I think most importantly, and that's the reason why we are here, is reporting to you as members to give you comfort that your money is safe. And also, we do report to the Board of Trustees as they're making the decisions, they know they're making the decisions on what basis. And also to our regulator, who is Retirement Benefits Authority. They ensure that they hold the Board of Trustees responsible, and not even us as your service providers in ensuring that you are handling your money well. So some of the confirmations, key confirmations that we must provide to you is that even as I said, we have been in operation for over 100 years. We offer these services to other clients. So we are required to ensure that all assets are segregated. So we don't mix the DC fund money, even with the DB fund money, we don't. We maintain it on a segregated basis. Because of working closely with the fund managers, we ensure that all settlements are done and done in good time to generate the returns. We also receive contributions. So when Trustee Vikiru closes the payroll, the money that is deducted comes to us, and we ensure we tell the fund managers, the money is here, invest that money. For those who leave, when the benefits are being processed, then it's also our responsibility to ensure that that money is processed on a timely basis. I talked about reporting, I'll not emphasize on it again. The auditor was here to confirm the assets. So we provide them all the support to ensure they do that work and give you that comfort. So we are very, very delighted to be here, to partner with the Board of Trustees and the Secretariat to continue supporting this fund and to continue supporting you as you plan towards your retirement. Thank you.
Thank you. Tumpigie makofi Janet. Thank you, Janet, for that assurance that our money and assets are safe. We are at the tail end of this, and I'll now call RBI. I know Chuma had already done. Is there anything? I know the RBI rep and also the sponsor had already given their remarks, unless maybe there's something they want. Perfect. Thank you, Chuma. Our MD, on the behalf of the sponsor, anything? Yeah, I think MD did well, and it covered both schemes. Now, members, you are invited to ask questions that you may have regarding the chairman's report, the one I read, the trustee's report, the investment report, or the audited financial statement. Our GM pension admin, Steve Madhuka, will take us through the question and answer session. I know there were the chat questions online. He will be able to do that. So I think, Steve, you can proceed.
Thank you so much, Chair. I'll go straight to the questions that had been received in advance from our members. These questions came through our email address, the KPPF email address. The first question is from Francis Mwangi. This is a member of the IDD, and he wants to know what happens when a member who has committed his 2/3 to the IDD and passes on, God forbid, before 10 years are over. What benefits are there for his dependents or beneficiaries? A member that has a commitment into IDD passes on before 10 years are over. What benefits are payable to his dependents and beneficiaries? The second question is from Tom Kadoyo. And Tom Kadoyo makes a comparison between what KPPF members get at the point of retirement and what members from other schemes do get. He had mentioned some schemes. And he notes that the KPPF contribution rates, I think the chair had alluded to this, are low compared to the contribution rates for other schemes that he has also indicated. He asks if there are plans to review current contribution rates from the 5% by the employee and 10% by the employer. And Chair, I can also read a third question. This is from Salat Ugas Gedi. This is a member who is based at Abasweni in Wajir. He says that he has never been able to attend KPPF member awareness seminars. He has also not been able to attend any AGM. And he urges the fund to consider members based in the isolated power stations or off-grid stations for scheme activities or forums, such as member education, AGMs, and so forth. I think, Chair, we can have those three questions being responded to.
Thank you. Maybe before we get the response, I'll seek the indulgence, your indulgence, to allow our CEO and MD to give some remarks on DC. You know, these are different funds. And sorry, MD, there was that. Please, let's allow the MD. Tumpigie makofi akikuja hapo. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, for allowing me this opportunity. Actually, there were a few highlights. I was still toying around whether I should just interject to share them. But I think what I really just wanted to emphasize under this scheme is to remind the members that the fund is only as strong as the value it delivers to its members. And we are commending the Board of Trustees and the Secretariat for their steadfast and member-centric initiatives which impact positively on the members. But the key highlights is the impressive progress with the products and services provided by the fund, which include the fast-growing income drawdown fund, which offers flexible access to retirement savings, and which in a span of 5 years stands at a fund value of 2.2 billion shillings. Then we also have the Orphans Trustee Program, which benefits over 500 school-going children whose parents passed on while in service. We also have the Post-Retirement Medical Fund, which is a visionary response to the concerns raised by retirees over the high costs of Medicare in retirement. The addition of voluntary contribution, which enables members to enhance their pension savings. So I think, to me, those are really the key highlights that the members of this scheme need to be aware of. And not only to be aware of, but to take advantage of what this other side has done to make your life as comfortable and to intervene in areas, especially in those product lines. They were designed specifically to address some of the key challenges that we noted was actually facing our retirees. And it was for that reason that these products were developed. And we encourage each and every one of you to really take advantage. And for those, I think some of the questions concern those who are in the far-flung areas and may not be aware of all that is going on. I think whichever member there is out there, one of the key things or one of the methods of even passing these messages are words of mouth. And I do know that as possibly former employees of KPLC, you'll always, once in a while, be talking with those friends of yours you used to work with in the days gone. Remember, or rather in the days of the past, remember always to mention to them, to take advantage. In fact, one of the questions you can ask them, are you aware that these products exist? And have you taken, have you done anything about it? Are you taking advantage of the same? I think those are just the highlights I wanted to pass to Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it deserves a clap. Thank you. Thank you very much, MD, for those nice words. So now I'll call Edwin, the CEO, to respond to those questions.
Thank you, Chairman. So the first question is from Francis. He's asking what happened when a member passes on and they had committed to IDD. So I wish to confirm that under the IDD arrangement, it's just like a savings. So we invest and ensure that you do the drawdown on a continuous basis. So the money remained your money. And whenever the creator then calls you, so anything that is remaining in that account is passed to the beneficiaries. We should be able now to make our decisions whether to still continue with the IDD or they can access the full amount. Alternatively, they can still do the annuity, which is provided by the insurance. So I do confirm that the money remains the assets of the beneficiaries. On Tom's issue, I think Chairman has alluded to this about the contributions. So we continue to engage the sponsor with a view of enhancing the contribution rates, and I think there is live discussions around the subject matter. And whenever then anything is forthcoming, then we should be able to update the members. Allow me also to mention about the AVC that I think the chairman mentioned. The whole goal of pensions is to ensure that you sustain your lifestyle after retirement. And that lifestyle is what you build during your work life. So the challenge, and I think as mentioned by the chairman earlier, is that replacement ratio should be at least 40%. And there are various mechanisms to address that. And one of these is the additional voluntary contributions. So even as we wait and engage a sponsor, there is also the need at individual level to consider taking advantage of the AVC. And finally, on the member from the far-flanked areas, I think the policy currently is we do these AGMs on a rotational arrangement. And the whole essence is to ensure that we reach to as many members as possible. But more importantly, we do have or supplement this through the member educations, which are quite comprehensive. And whenever then resources allows, because we also consider the resources that goes into this, we should be able to reach every corner of this country. But allow me also to sensitize the members or encourage the members, because we also have the digital platforms. You recall during the COVID, we were able to transact this AGM online. And we still also have that leeway or the opportunity to carry out member educations through the online platforms. And the impact and the delivery of the message is still similar to the physical. So as we wait to ensure that we reach all the corners, let's also take advantage of the digital platforms. I think those are the three questions, Mr. Chairman, that had been asked.
Thank you. We had received other questions from members, but I think in the interest of time now, we can take questions from the floor from members that are present here. Joseph Simon will assist with movement of the mic. So we invite questions from members that are present here. Questions?
I hope, Steve, you've responded to the online one.
Yes, the other questions that have come through the Q&A feature, we are going to respond to them.
Okay.
We'll ensure all the questions are responded to, Chair. Thank you. There's somebody in station asking a question there. All right, pass the mic to him.
And you say your name, please, and the station that you're based. Yeah. Another question, please. Thank you, Ken. There is one at the center there.
My question is like any other funds, we have seen like in cooperative movement where managers benefit more than those who contribute. What ratio due to the member has helped this making?
Pardon, Eliud, you're saying members vis-a-vis you're comparing with?
Asking, as compared to what the fund making, the profit, how much does it go to the member who contributes that ratio?
Okay. Okay, distribution. Okay, we responded. Yeah.
Thank you. My name is Daniel. If we look at the statement of change in assets and liability, which is in page 127, kindly elaborate this. 2024, we got a 154 million against 190 million, yet we made a profit in it. I don't understand that.
Okay. Okay, TS will respond to that. So let's make progress. If there is no other question, I think let's close there. Okay, so TS.
So thanks, members, for those questions. So I will start with Ken. You mentioned about whether it's possible for the employer to merge the FEC. Ken, you can be able to hear the name is additional voluntary. So currently, there is no law that bars the employer to match. But as I mentioned earlier, I think the discussions is to see whether the employer can increase the basic one, so that then the ABC becomes an individual responsibility and a choice. I think we'll gain more if it's done across, rather than to those only who are doing the AVCs. On the issue of KISA, you mentioned about the ratio of what we distribute. So the current policy is we distribute everything. We distribute 100%. So whatever we generate, unlike the corporate where they determine a dividend through a dividend policy. So for the pension schemes, all the surplus that are created are then credited to the member's account. However, I think there was a change in regulations from the year 2023 that exclude the unrealized gains or losses on bonds, the government bonds. So as I think the fund manager had mentioned earlier, the government bonds, so you get the interest, which is the coupon, and you also get the price movement. So the regulations currently doesn't allow you to distribute that and realize. It's only at the point when you dispose or it matures, then you distribute. So you'll be able to see from our distribution, there is a bit of a surplus, which is purely on the regulations restrictions. But as, of course, the securities progress towards maturity, then those gains then are realized. On Daniel, you asked about the net surplus in dealing with the members and why then the bottom line is a profit. So just to explain is that our main source of income is on the investment. So the return that we get from the investments asset is our main source of income. But however, we do also, given that this is an open scheme, it's receiving contributions and also does the payouts So as you can be able to see last year, we received a total of 1.9, and we paid out 1.7. And that is the difference between what we receive in contributions and what we paid out is the 190 million, which is considered as a net surplus. So for last year, as you can be able to see, I think the major movement was on the benefits that we paid out. And just for information to the members, we used to have Ketraco as one of the sponsors. And last year, they made that decision to delink from our scheme. And therefore, we had to pay the accumulated balances for that category or the employees belonging to Ketraco. So that explained that huge movement between 1.7 billion to 2.3. So the net surplus is 152. So it's basically the contributions that we receive compared to what we paid out to the members. But as you can be able to see from the investment front, which is our main source of investment, is where we had a good performance, a total of 4 billion, compared to last year at 214 million. And we pray that this trend continues. You've seen, I think, from the projections for the half year, we are doing very well. So this is an area that we need to focus on because that is where we create a lot of value, unlike the first category of the contributions, which is subject to the members' movement. I think, Chairman, those are the questions that have been asked.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, TS. The response tells you that those are informed questions. So I want to thank Daniel and team for asking those. It tells you that they are very serious, they are thorough, they go through this report. So let's continue. And that's the only way you can keep us on toes. Now, with that, members, you are now requested to note the annual report that includes the chairman's report, trustees' report, investment report, and the audited financial statement as having been received and adopted. I will now go to the conclusion. But before I do that, members, allow me to say this, that we have continued to get the support of the sponsor. I must say that without the support of the sponsor, we can't be where we are. So I know it is in the speech, but most important is the independence. And that is why, as a scheme, we pride ourselves as being among the best schemes in the country, and not even the country in Africa. We've gotten even awards of being among the best. So I will encourage the sponsor to continue giving us a support, both DB and DC. I will encourage the trustees as we've worked together. They have supported us. The managers, or rather the service providers, have also rendered the necessary support. And most importantly, and I know I will still say this, is RBA. RBA. I think if there is one institution that has kept us alive, that has made us do our work well, is RBA. So, Chumo, as you go back to Nairobi, pass our regards to the CEO and to your team. MD, KPLC MD, the sponsor, you will agree with these members that pension is a very critical, I know to you and even Cecilia, what makes you retain this staff is the pension. It's a take-home what they get. And we want to thank you very much. It's, for one to join KPLC, they always serious professions who look at, when I go home, what do I get? The other thing that is also, that has made us MD strong is also Stima Sacco. Stima Sacco is also another area which I am extremely happy also to report. The sponsor has not been left behind. In terms of representation, we also, and that is a tradition of Stima Sacco. Since the time of Samuel Gishuru, we used to chair Stima Sacco. And if there is one thing that we'll always remember SK, he left a very good legacy at Stima Sacco. The stewardship of SACCO has continued, and now we're having Dr. Siror also chairing SACCO. We are happy. So far, so good. MD, this have been told by Nakuru people. Kukushukuru, and to tell you also. Sometimes mtoto uteleza. I know SACCO, you've done very well, very well. And it is for all of us. In fact, most of us pride ourselves, even retirees. The investment that you have is because of Stima SACCO. Now, wakati unapata kuna some wrongdoers within SACCO, MD, we are appealing to you, piga whip. Hata President juzi alisema, don't shoot to kill, shoot to injure. Unasikia? Mguu tu. So kama kuna wafanyikazi wetu walifanya makosa kidogo, hapana huwa hawa, discipline hawa kidogo. Tumpigie makofi atafanya hivyo. Kwa hivyo MD wewe ni mzee, look at those issues objectively. We know you strike a balance between SACCO, the interests of the company and employees. Lakini nasema sio mbaya kuinja, lakini hapana huwa. Sawa sawa? Asante. Ladies and gentlemen, there being no further business, I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank each one of you for attending today's AGM. I also extend my appreciation to all members who joined us virtually. Thank you very much. Your presence and participation are greatly valued. Likewise, I wish to extend my heartfelt appreciation to the following stakeholders for their invaluable contributions. One, our sponsor, for your continued support and commitment to the success of the fund. Number two, you, our dear members, for your active participation in today's AGM and in all other engagements we've had with you throughout the year. Number three, our service providers for their professional support. Number four, that was number four, the Retirement Benefit Authority for fostering a supportive and enabling regulatory environment for the retirement benefits sector. And finally, the Board of Trustees, the CEO and Trust Secretary and the Secretariat for their continued efforts to promote and protect the interests of the members throughout the year. I now, as the chairman of DC, declare this year's AGM officially closed. Thank you. MC? Oh, sorry. I've been reminded there was some overlap, not really overlap, asleep. Secretariat. Ruto doesn't work alone. Edin Ruto has a very strong supportive team. So you guys just come here so that the GMs and come here very fast. Janet, you can't miss. Without you, many things don't move. So you just say your name and the position you hold. Very fast, Amos.
Hamjambo. Naitwa Amos Ndungu. I'm the GM in charge of investments, and happy to serve you.
I'm Jambo Tena. My name is Steve Mathuka. I'm in charge of benefits administration. Thank you so much for turning out in big numbers.
Good afternoon. My name is Susan Guyo. I'm in the pension administration department. I'm happy to see you. Thank you for coming.
Good afternoon. My name is Janet Mrombo. I'm the executive officer at the CEO's office. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Simon Kamau in finance department, making sure that you are paid on time.
Good afternoon, members. My name is Martha Simiyu from the HR department. Karibuni sana.
Good afternoon. My name is Joyce Njuguna, manager investments, looking after your investments.
Good afternoon. I'm Esther Gitonga, legal and compliance.
Good afternoon. I'm Linda Juma. I handle marketing and communications. Karibuni sana.
Good afternoon. I'm Peter Muya, ICT manager.
Good afternoon. I'm Stephen Mutiso, investment department, to be specific, the property section.
Good afternoon. Gregory Okoth, IT Department. Karibuni.
Good afternoon, members. Ivy Adhiambo, Assistant Manager, Member Services. Karibuni.
Good afternoon, members. My name is Susan Olelo. I'm the Finance Manager.
Mjamboni, jina Vicky Mburugo, naongoza rasilimali watu, human resources.
Afternoon, members. Amos Kimani, Procurement Department.
Habari zenu. Jina ni Stella Kosgei, Pension Officer, Pension Department.
Good afternoon. My name is Joseph Mitito. I'm in Investment Department, but real estate.
Thank you. I think that marks the end. I know Ado Sheikh hajaona Muislamu, hajaona mtu wa Northern Kenya, but we'll make sure they're there. Hata kutoka Turkana. Asante.
Thank you so much, Chairman. Please, let us put our hands together to appreciate Chairman, appreciate trustees. Let us also appreciate trustees for the good work they've done. And another clap for our sponsor, Kenya Power, led by the CEO. And another clap for our service providers. And the last one, but not least, another clap for our members. Thank you. QR code is up there, please. Scan it and give us the feedback and the questions that we've given you. Chairman, we will go to the next program, the launch of post-retirement medical cover. And for this session, I want to invite our MC, Magbul. Where are you?
Yes, right here.
Where are you? I can't see you.
Right here, on the entertainment section.
Oh, please, take over from
I think that side is more formal, this side is less formal. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Makbul Mohammed, also known as Donovan, with Nijua.
Yeah, the microphone had refused. I know it's about that time. People want to go for lunch, so this won't take long. Thank you very much for making me part of this segment. And I would like to go straight into it. Our post-retirement medical fund launch. Now, it gives you access, of course. Quality healthcare continues to be a major challenge in the retirement sector. And as people advance in age, they become more susceptible to diseases, resulting in need for more medical attention. Now, to help us understand this more and this particular product, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our CEO and Trustee Secretary, Edwin Kiprono Ruto. Makofi tafadhali.
Thank you so much, the MC. The chairman of DC scheme, the chairman of DB scheme, the board of trustees, the MD of our sponsor, our chief guest for these sessions, Dennis Olwach from RBA. Don't know whether Anthony is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think our chief guest will be joining us shortly. And allow me just to mention or make a few remarks before we proceed. And mine is basically to welcome you all to participate in these sessions where we are launching our new product called Post-Retirement Medical Fund. I'm sure for most of the members, we are asking ourselves why PRMF or why the Post-Retirement Medical Fund. Allow me just to give you two main reasons why this is a major milestone for us as a scheme. Number one, we all appreciate that medical cover is part of the benefits that we get when we are still in employment. The reality or the factual position is immediately you leave the service of the employer, that benefit lapses. So the question then is, where does that leave you in terms of the medical cover? Number two is that as you age And I think this is from statistics. This is a time when you become susceptible to so many health-related challenges. And the structure in this country is that whenever the insurance are pricing their products, they do categorize their members based on the risk assessment. And unfortunately, in this case, then you are classified as a more risk member. And there are two options. You either get part from accessing the medical cover, where you are denied completely, or if you are lucky, then the premiums is adjusted upwards to compensate for that risk. So with those two reasons, ladies and gentlemen, this product called PRMF is part of that planning journey so that you can be able to prepare yourself well in advance to face that reality when it comes. And finally, just to highlight, I think, the visionary leadership of our board. We've seen, I think, from our mission is to provide sustainable financials and healthcare support. So that speaks volume in terms of the commitment of our trustees to ensure that we take care of your healthcare and well-being after retirement. So my rallying call before I close is for members to really take time to read through, confirm what is contained in this PRMF, and be an active player in terms of participating and uptaking these products. So with those few remarks, allow me to end there. I wish you all a very enjoyable sessions as we progress with this program. Thank you.
And a man who needs no introduction, literally, walking on stage already, our DC Chair, Makofi Tafadhali.
Yeah, I have a brief speech to make. Distinguished guests, the sponsor, members, and colleagues, I am privileged to stand before you today as we launch the Post-Retirement Medical Fund, a significant milestone in the journey of our fund and a reflection of our enduring commitment to the holistic well-being of our members. As trustees, our responsibility extends beyond managing retirement contributions. We are also stewards of our members' long-term financial and medical security. The launch of this medical fund represents that vision. That is a proactive, thoughtful response to the increasing need for reliable access to health care in retirement. Allow me to briefly highlight what Post-Retirement Medical Fund offers. The PRMF is a scheme under the defined contribution fund that enables members to accumulate savings during their working years, specifically for meeting medical expenses in retirement. These contributions are prudently invested in accordance with the RBA Act, and it grows over time until you become payable. Importantly, the funds can only be accessed for approved healthcare costs in retirement, ensuring they serve their intended purpose, supporting members and their families when they need it most. This product was developed in response to a genuine concern for the everyday realities our retirees face. Access to quality healthcare remains a major challenge, and too often it places a heavy financial burden on families. The PRMF provides a dedicated and structured way for members to plan ahead, safeguarding both their health and dignity in retirement. We, the trustees, are committed to ensuring the prudent investment and safeguarding of PRMF contributions, just as we have done with the broader fund. Robust governance structures, risk management frameworks, and adherence to regulatory standards will guide how these resources are managed. Members can trust their savings will be handled with transparency, professionalism, and care. I must highlight contributions up to Kenya shillings 15,000 per month to the PRMF are tax deductible, effectively lowering your taxable income. Additionally, returns earned on investment contributions are tax exempt, making this not only a health-focused initiative, but a financially smart one. You get to benefit today while you prepare for tomorrow. To our members, this is your opportunity to take control of your future. Enrollment in the PRMF is now open, and we encourage each of you to join the fund. The earlier you begin, the more your savings will grow, and the more secure your future health care will be. Let us make it a personal goal to ensure Afya Bora Uzeeni is our retirement's reality. Following today's launch, we will begin a structured rollout, which includes members' education in different regions and direct engagement through the Secretariat team. Our staff will be available to support and guide you throughout the process of enrollment. In closing, I wish to sincerely thank all the stakeholders who contributed to making this initiative a reality. In particular, our sponsor, Kenya Power, for your continued commitment to employee well-being and retirement preparedness. Your support enables us to serve our members better and build meaningful, future-focused solutions. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I thank you for your trust and for giving us the honor of serving you with foresight, integrity, and dedication. Thank you.
Also, before we go on, I would like to, of course, to recognize our chief guest who just came in, Deputy Director Supervision, Mr. Dennis Oluoch Makofi Tafadhali, whom we shall give a chance to address us a bit later on. But now it is only fair to call on our MD and Chief Executive Officer, Kenya Power, Dr. Engineer Joseph Siro, to give us a word. Makofi Tafadhali.
Good afternoon. I think I'll observe all the protocols with the addition or to recognize our chief guest. It is my pleasure to address you on this momentous occasion, the launch of the Post-Retirement Medical Fund. This tremendous initiative by the fund and the Board of Trustees is a visionary response to one of retirement's greatest challenge, healthcare in old age. I do recognize that as people age, there are a number of questions that really bothers them. And one of them could be, when the medical cover of the employer ceases, what happens? What is the fallback plan? And I think, as the Trust Secretary had mentioned and the others before me, when you attempt now to apply for insurance, you realize that the barriers are very high. And I think many other times that in itself can stress someone and even possibly worsen his health instead of even improving when already the situation is not that good. The reality of old care in this age is that medical expenses are among the biggest financial burdens individuals face in retirement. There are many chronic situations which I don't want to enumerate, but all of them require quality health care, or it makes it quite essential. And yet, at the same time, to get that quality health care, it is quite expensive. So most retirees struggle to maintain medical insurance due to age restrictions or high premiums, because again, income may have dwindled. So to afford certain things again becomes slightly difficult. And this forces them to dip into their pension savings, liquidate precious assets, or rely on family and well-wishers. The PRMF offers a proactive solution. By contributing during your working years, you build a dedicated healthcare reserve that provides continuity and peace of mind beyond employment. This is about dignity, independence, and ensuring your health does not become a financial burden to other people. At Kenya Power, We remain committed to support initiatives by the fund that enhance our employees' long-term well-being. We will continue to back up programs that bring value and give our workforce ownership of their financial and healthcare security. Like I mentioned before, these products are for you. Let's take advantage of all that is provided and that can really add a lot of value even to your days in the latter days. I take this opportunity to encourage the in-service members, especially the relatively young ones, to take control of your future healthcare by enrolling in the PRMF. The younger you are, possibly even the little the contribution is. And I think given what the chairman mentioned, that the issue of tax deductible, the issue of, that in itself, the fact that any amount you contribute is going to be exempted from tax is really a very good incentive, because that would mean that whatever you are contributing, possibly if you are in the upper tax bracket, is almost like it's gaining another 30, or not even 30, because the taxation is normally at around 30%. So it means 70. For every 7 shillings, it becomes what you're actually getting is almost, what would have been taxed to be 7 becomes 10 shillings. That is, you get the entire amount. So that in itself is really a very good incentive that you as members can take advantage of, and especially the younger you are, or at any level. Let me not say the younger you are. I think we all as employees and as members really need to contribute. But I'm just encouraging those who have just joined or those who are young to join early, because the level of contribution is actually going to be lower than it would be if you joined it at a later time. So in conclusion, today's launch of the PRMF is a major milestone, not only for the fund, but also for KPLC, the founder and sponsor of the fund. As a key stakeholder of KPPF, I wish to assure the Board of Trustees and members of the fund of the sponsor's support. What's good for the member is equally good for Kenya Power as an employer. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki sana. Na kama mtaokoka mfanye hivyo.
God is good. And all the time. They say the truth is in the pudding. And next up, I'd like to call Mr. John Peter Akango, who's a retiree, aje atupatie mawili matatu. John. Mpigeni makofi tafadhali anapokuja.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, and all protocols observed. I'll try to be very brief, because I can see most of the people here are a bit tired. I'll talk of my experience. I retired in 2021. That's about 4 years ago. And I just want to share what I've seen in retirement and vis-a-vis what was there when I was employed. So the first thing I'll talk about will be veracity. Veracity, I mean definition of, we love to know, to understand what retirement is. Retirement is definitely is loss of withdrawal of employment, which can be because of several factors. Either you've attained the age, or medical, or residency, or any other thing. But either way, the bottom line is you've lost your employment. And when you lose your employment, there are so many ripple effects. Like there'll be several challenges. What you used to earn will not be there. You'll have cash flow challenges, and being Africans and even the society, you'll find that you still have dependents. We may have our kids who are not independent. You're still taking care of them, your mom and all that. And your income has diminished. It's not what you used to earn. So that may be a challenge. It is a challenge, in fact. And the other thing is, as you age, we tend to, our health also deteriorates, and even our body, we end up not being physically strong as we used to be. And with that, other people mentioned that we normally get in fact, it invites diseases, other things which are old age. You find that your immunity system is compromised. And you may have been a very healthy person, but because of age and all that, your health deteriorates. So what happens to overcome this? We need to plan. And there are several ways of planning, depending on your exposure and your socializing agents. Socializing agents, I mean the schools you went, your peer group, nurture, where the environment you grew up. So between age 1 and 20 is the education stage. 20 to 40, you accumulate wealth, assuming you're working. Then 40 to 60, you plan that wealth in retirement. And most of us, we don't do that because we don't expect, it's like we are ambushed by retirement because we are very reactive, we are never proactive. So that is one thing which we need to be doing. And most of the people here, the retirees, I think are about 20%. The rest are still in employment, in service. You need to note that. And you have to understand also your cluster. Are you permanent and pensionable? Are you getting only gratuity or whatever it is? This you have to spread even to other people who are not within here because you have your friends. And you need to tell them how to invest that. Then you need to have a purpose. The purpose is setting a goal of the wealth you've accumulated, how you will take care of it. Because if you are in like the scheme we are talking about, you are paying yourself. You are a separate entity from that scheme. You are the one working, you are contributing, but you are applying back. In the long run, you are the one who will benefit. You have to look at it like that. So if your target is so much, you just need to sacrifice and automate whatever you are contributing. And there's the other thing which is a misconception in being proactive, because we always, we don't define middle age, because most people think that middle age is maybe at when you are 50, 60, but middle age can even be at 20. Middle age is, there's the growing stage, and then there's when your strength starts going down. And it depends with how you take care of yourself. Because you'll find somebody who is 60, 70 here, and another person who is 40, 50. There's no comparison. You'll start wondering what's wrong with the two. Depending with the diet, are you exercising? Do you have a peace of mind? And so many other things. Or are you keeping toxic friends? Because those are the factors which may compromise how you relate, how you take care of your health. The other thing is you have colleagues in the office. And in the office, you find that you assume your colleague. But these are your support group. It's just like your religious guys. You need to have some, these are people who, is like the schools, the guys, today if you meet somebody you are with in secondary or in primary, whether you liked him or not, he'll be a very good friend. And you'll even feel like, because they're not there, they are rare. And you need to keep that relationship from the word go, even in the office. There are a few things which are, because I don't want to be, I'm supposed to be a bit brief. When I retired, I was ambushed by nature. I assumed that since I was born, I had never gone to hospital. I think I was hospitalized when I was being born. But a year after retirement, I got prostrate. And it affected me because the transition between it was just, I think, 2-3 months after retirement, and I didn't take my medical cover immediately post-retirement. I had to wait for 6 months. And this thing ate part of my benefits because I paid over $1 million from my pocket. And I would not like anybody to experience that kind of thing. That is why the new products being introduced, like this post-retirement benefit, is something which we need to commend whoever came up with it. I may not be a beneficiary because I'm not in service, but it's something which we need to agree with it, and we need to support it. There are few challenges. I tried asking, but if you'll allow me, there are few challenges I would just want to highlight. Like, we're in the age of public participation. And when we look at our trustees and all that, retirees are not represented, so it's not representative. I don't know, it's something which we keep on asking. And I doubt if there's any law barring us from even us being represented because we are stakeholders. I don't know, somebody will answer that, or you can take care of, you'll see how to address that later. Then, in real estate, I saw we were seeing some challenges in things like we have some dead assets. But I think that has been addressed. The only thing which has not been addressed is some of these real estates have been developed using our funds. And we know that there are several terms. You can buy a mortgage even on off-plan. You can do this and that. How do we benefit as retirees? Because our funds is which is being used to do that. And to our service providers, because we also invest as individuals. We get coupons. And you find that if you go to money market, whether it's infrastructure bond or whatever, you can borrow against that money, against your saving at 50% at subsidized rate. I don't know if that can be extended to us or if it can be shared. Then the other thing which is wanting is member education. I know we are from different backgrounds. Our diversity is our strength. But member education is very important, even to bring ourselves to the level of somebody who may not comprehend a coupon, he may not comprehend this, because sometimes when we talk here, about 50% of us are floating. And we need to, I don't know how that will be addressed. Then the last is we said that when you retire, the terms of medical go down, which is, I don't think it's a challenge because our employer has our data. You know historically how we've been sick. In some other places it's seamless. If you're paying 4,000 a month and you're getting outpatient 1 million, inpatient 5 million, it doesn't change. Those with chronic diseases or chronic ailments, let me not call it diseases, then those are the ones who may be subjected to things like that, some discrimination a bit, or to higher premiums. So I think with those very many remarks, if you have any question, or I say thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk to you.
Awesome. Thank you so very much, John. Emphasizing, of course, why the importance of what we're launching today. Without taking any time, I would like to call upon our DC chair to introduce our chief guest.
Maybe before I do that, the colleague who just stood reminds me of an incident yesterday. I was attending one of the board meetings and the chair decided to step out. He was driving and he handed over the chairmanship to one of our directors. He continued chairing until when the chairman came And he didn't notice the chairman. I don't know this is deliberate. He continued chairing until the meeting ended and the chairman had come back. So, I don't know. They say you grab power, Sindio. So our brother here was to give a testimony on retirement, but I think, I don't know, he took advantage and raised all the issues that he will have raised during the DC session. So we'll respond to you, bro. And on representation, I think we agree with you that retirees are growing. You need more retirees here. We already have the IDD. RBI already telling us we have surpassed the 1 billion. We are supposed to have a board of trustees for IDD. So it's something that we are also looking, but we want to manage costs at the end of it, because when you have more trustees, it's more expense and it eats into your retirement. But we hear you loud and clear. It's something that we'll also be discussing on how to accommodate retirees also in the pension fund. Otherwise, with that, I think I will now allow, as you were told earlier, that this particular launch, our chief guest was the RBA CEO, but he sent his apologies. And even having done that, he still recognized that this is a very important occasion. And he released his deputy, Ndugu Dennis Oluoch, to come and represent him. So, Ndugu Dennis, welcome, and tumpigie makofi as he comes.
Good afternoon. First of all, it's a privilege to be here. As the chairman has indicated, I'm representing our CEO, Mr. Charles Mashira, who is away on official duty, and given the importance of this scheme, he requested me to come and represent him and read a speech on his behalf. So allow me just to go straight to reading the speech. Mr. Ernest Nadome, Chairman, Board of Trustees, Kenya Power Pension Fund, and your fellow trustees. The sponsor of the scheme, represented by Engineer Dr. Joseph Siror. Of course, we also have the chairman of the DB scheme, Mr. Sami Odur, the CEO, Trust Secretary of the fund, all service providers present, distinguished members, all protocols observed. Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, I wish to extend my sincere gratitude to the Board of Trustees for inviting me as a chief guest and for granting me this opportunity to address you distinguished members at this important gathering. It is indeed a privilege to be present at the official launch of your post-retirement medical fund, an initiative by your trustees and sponsor of the great significance designed to ensure that over 8,700 members of the scheme are well prepared to meet their medical expenditure upon retirement. This fund embodies a proactive approach, encouraging members to begin building their health fund for retirement during their working years. And how do we do this? By joining now, you can secure access to quality healthcare when you need it most without financial stress. I commend the trustees for this visionary initiative and urge every member to seize the opportunity by enrolling today. Why does this matter to us as members? Allow me to give you a context that as a regulator, we thought that is important for you to appreciate. Every working Kenyan dreams of retiring in peace without fear of unaffordable hospital bills or chronic illness. Yet statistics paint a worrying picture. Studies carried out by the authority and other partners within the sectors have consistently shown one clear truth, that at retirement, healthcare costs make a large part of your expenditure. This challenge comes at a time when your regular income has ceased, and as indicated by the retiree who made some testimonial, these challenges can even grow and be more daunting, more so for employees who depend on medical coverage provided by the employer during their working life, a benefit that ends at the point they leave the workforce. But what happens after that? Too many retirees are left with no choice but to tap into their pension savings, money intended to sustain their life at retirement. From our recent survey, the 9th pension survey of 2024, we indeed saw that this urgency of the issue is still being underscored, where from the survey of the retirees, it indicated that healthcare access stands as the foremost concern among retirees, with over 77% paying medical expenses out of their pocket. When asked how to better prepare for retirement if they were to given a choice, 62% of them say they will start saving for retirement and pump in additional voluntary contribution, and on top of that, they'll subscribe and join a post-retirement medical fund. They even go further to propose a policy shift to make this a mandatory requirement. Dear members, this is both a moment to reflect on our future and an urgent call for us to act. From our side as the authority, we have noted from the National Retirement Benefit Policy, which was recently launched, that this is a very dire gap and we need to come up with policy intervention. Ladies and gentlemen, what has been proposed within the National Retirement Benefit Policy, which was launched by our PS, National Treasury, Dr. Chris Kipto, last year on 29th August 2024, and was ratified by the Cabinet, was the need to look at the sustainability of the pension sector. And there were 9 issues that have been raised as policy matters, and one of the 9 issues addresses providing post-retirement medical fund in old age. So, ladies and gentlemen, on post-retirement medical benefits, the policy recognizes the need to ensure retirees have access to adequate and affordable health care. This provision protects elderly citizens from the financial burden of medical expenditure at retirement and undermining their dignity. By integrating medical benefits into the retirement benefit framework, the policy creates a sustainable mechanism for retirees to maintain their health and well-being, thereby enhancing their life at retirement. We commenced this journey as an authority, foremost in 2018, by issuing the post-retirement medical fund guidelines. And these guidelines, as have been indicated previously from previous speakers, allow a scheme to establish a voluntary fund as a sub-fund within the existing structure, enabling you as members to contribute voluntarily to a dedicated healthcare reserve fund while actively participating in employment. What are the benefits? At retirement, these benefits are designed to assist a contributing member to either purchase a medical cover or meeting the medical expenditure directly. And in case you leave current employer before reaching retirement, then the fund offers you flexibility where you can be able to decide to defer access. And if you want, you can also transfer it to another post-retirement medical fund or draw it immediately as medical benefits. Ladies and gentlemen, since the inception of this initiative, we have witnessed steady and encouraging growth. And as at 31st December 2024, out of the 2.25 trillion assets under the pension sector, over 700 million was attributable to post-retirement medical fund. Further, to enhance the policy reform, as again indicated by the previous presenters, the government, through the tax laws amendment, introduced a change that allows any contribution to a post-medical fund to the tune of up to 15,000 as a tax-deductible amount. This incentive is designed to promote long-term savings for healthcare needs after retirement and strengthen sustainability of old age. Distinguished members, with this incentive, members can enjoy tax savings while simultaneously building their medical fund. I therefore implore on each and every one of you who has not yet been enrolled to seriously consider and take up this valuable opportunity. I am pleased to note that the members have already begun contributing into this fund, and from our records, we have seen that the first tranche of contributions started in July 2024 and steadily growing. I also urge the Board of Trustees to continue raising awareness about the benefits of this scheme and maintain active engagement with members as they explore the possibility of employer support. The guidelines allow for voluntary contribution from both members and employers, and we believe with the sponsor here, we see an opportunity where the board can be able to see whether the sponsor can also assist and take up, though voluntarily, to assist those who are contributing and partner with them. In conclusion, let me reiterate the unwavering support and commitment by the regulator to oversee and protect your pension savings, ensuring every member and retiree enjoy their retirement with dignity. With great pride, it is my distinct honor and privilege to declare the Kenya Power Pension Fund, Post-Medical Fund, officially launched. Thank you, and God bless you.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much, our chief guest. I'd like to call upon our chair, of course, to come and present a gift to our chief guest, as I'd like to invite as well our Board of Trustees to come on stage in front, and we make this officially a launch. And we get to the point of pomp and flair, so I'd like to call our Board of Trustees to come on stage with us right here to get to that point where we officially launch the Post-Retirement Medical Fund. Right. Awesome. Thank you, band. Thank you. And officially, just before the band takes on and we go into our lunch, we'd like to make a countdown and officially open and say that it is open, the Post-Retirement Medical Fund. So I'd like to invite you to have a fantastic countdown with us and ensure finally we are launching the Post-Retirement Fund.
8,
7,
6,
5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Courtesy of Kenya Power Pension Fund, we introduce to you the post-retirement medical fund. Thank you. Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And in every event in the African Sunset, we always have cake. I'm not quite sure why. But I would like to call upon our trustees, Imelda Bore and Deborah Opudo, to officially cut the cake and open the ceremony. Yeah, I think you'll have to come back on this side.
Mengi mazuri tumeyaona, kweli umetenda, kweli wemuweza. Ulitamka vitu vikawa, Baba unaweza, neno lako linatesa. Barisha Israeli, wa uliwatuma, kawatoa utumwani. Uamualo hakuna wa kunipinga, hakika wewe ni Mungu wa yote. Unatawala dunia na mbingu, hakuna yatenda Jehova. Hakika tumeuona mkono wako Bwana, matendo yako Bwana ni makuu. Umetutoa mbali, ukatushika mkono, chini hata juu, watu unawainua, sifa na utukufu ni zako, na tutasifu jina lako Baba. Oh Mungu,
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, band. Asante. Asante. Just before we wrap up, I'd love to, of course, we take our seats and we wrap up the program. To give the vote of thanks. Oh, what unataka kula keki kwanza? There's a request from the team to be together, closer together, so that we can take a photo op just before we get into the vote of thanks. Some cake and go for lunch.
God is good and all the time. Wow. Yes, my name is Cecilia Kalungu. Currently, I'm a trustee at Kenya Power Pension Fund. My job is very easy, to just give a vote of thanks. Yeah. So mine, as you've heard, to my fellow employees, that is Kenya Power. Kidogo kidogo ujaza, kibaba, sawa? So wakati ndio, just start with the small that you can for you to be able to build your post-medical retirement fund. Tuko pamoja? There is nothing as bad after you've retired, then you are not able to afford your medical cover, or you are forced to use your pension to cater for your medical. And you've heard what the speakers have said, that you should take care of your health, and the older you become, the more liquid you need to be. You need more money, more than land. Si mnajua ukizeka kuuza shamba ni ngumu. Na ugonjwa inakuja, you require a lot of money to take care of yourself. Please join this new initiative by our pension fund. Start slowly to build your fund towards your retirement for medical. So mine is to thank all of you, to our MD and CEO, our chairs of the board, that is DB, DC, my fellow trustees, our service providers, thank you all for coming. And to the members, thank you for showing up. And to our fellow secretariat, you know, without you, this would not have happened. Asanteni sana kwa kuja. And to everybody who has ensured that this AGM has been successful, thank you very much. To Sarova Serena, asanteni for hosting us. And thank you for coming. And mine is to just take this opportunity to wish everyone a safe journey from where you've come. And let's continue supporting Kenya Power. Let's continue supporting our pension fund. And together, we'll be strong. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Cecilia. As we wrap up, it is about that time to say thank you so very much for coming. But in every event in the African Sunset, we close with a prayer. And he wasn't planned, and it's going to come as quite a shock for him. But to give a closing prayer, I'd like to call upon Steve to come and give the prayer. I did say shock.
Okay, let's have a word of prayer. We can stand up. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we are so grateful for a successful event that you've given us, and for being with our members, our trustees. And Lord, for just being with us. We thank you for the good health. And Lord, I want to commit each and every one of us, oh Lord, members, oh Lord, who are going to go to their various places, Lord. May you give them just mercies, oh God. Protect them. Above all, oh Father, may you protect our trustees and the role you've given them, oh God. This role ought to have been done by the angels, but you've given them to do it, to serve elderly people, orphans, and widows. As we close this meeting, Lord, we pray that you may bind us together with your love until we have such a meeting again. For this our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, and that concludes our program. Lunch is being offered on the other side when we cross. Thank you so very much for making time. Band, take it over.
Yeah.